So today we're talking about backswing, specifically the arms in your backswing, and I'm going to give you two very simple thoughts and concepts that can help you achieve a much more structured top of the backswing position. So welcome back to a wet, cold and windy Forest of Arden. We're talking about the backswing, we're talking about your arms. We're going to get you a much more structured position at the top, which can only be good for your golf swing and help you with many things such as consistency, ball striking, and probably a little bit of club head speed too if we do this correctly. So just before we get into what we're going to ask you to do, if you're not a subscriber of my channel, I would love you to join the community. It is absolutely free and there's a clickable link in the description box down below. And when you've clicked that, just give the little bell icon a click as well. That just means you'll get a notification each time I post a video and you won't miss anything that could potentially help you with your game. So the lesson plan today is we're going to do two things which can help you create a more structured backswing. We're going to think about the grip end of the golf club in our first point. In our second point, we're going to be thinking or being more aware of what the elbows are doing as we progress to the top of the backswing. So just quickly before we get into this little disclaimer, many of you watching this would actually benefit from a lead arm which is slightly bent, and many of you would actually benefit from the elbow slightly separating at the top of your backswing. What we're really trying to do in this video is address those golfers whose lead arm is excessively bent and the elbows really start to separate as well, because those are the golfers who generally will struggle with the consistency in the strike. So we're looking to try and find that happy medium where we've got some nice structure but we're not restricting movement too much. So let's do a little demonstration. I'm going to hold this golf club down here just below the grip. And as I move away from the golf ball, when I start to create my wrist hinge, you'll notice that the grip end of the golf club will actually move down and away from me as that club head works more up towards my head. Now, I don't hold the golf club here, but where I do hold the golf club is more towards the grip end, but there is still that same process. As I work the club head more up, the grip of the golf club will be moving down and away from me. And what that really does, it helps me actually keep some extension in my lead arm. So as I get myself set up to this golf ball, my first sort of movement away is going to be with my body, but then as I start to create my wrist hinge and work the club head more up, I really want to have the sensation that I'm pushing the grip down and away from me. And straight away I feel how that puts a lot more extension through my lead arm and gives them that feeling of width that we're after. Many of you whose lead arm bends down, or breaks down I should say, too much, it often starts as soon as we start to create that wrist hinge and we actually pull the grip up with the club head. We actually want the grip to be going the opposite direction to the club head. As the club head goes up, the grip goes down and away from you, and that really puts some good extension through that lead arm. So not really a drill, more of a concept. You're going to move away from the golf ball and then just push that grip down as the club head works up, and I really feel that puts me in a really nice strong position as I set those wrists. So the second thing we need to address is the elbow separating too much. Now, quite simply, we're just going to get you to feel like you apply an inward force with the elbows, because as they are separated, they're moving away from each other. So we want to create the opposite feeling, and that would generally come after we've created that initial wrist hinge movement. So the two together would be pushing the grip down and away, and then as I turn to the top, I'm just really feeling like I squeeze my elbows together. And as I do this through a rehearsal, I should be able to create a position here where my elbows are pretty much the same distance apart as they were at my address position. Now, like I said at the start, some of you may actually benefit from the elbow separating a little bit, but we're trying to create a rehearsal which gives us a good feel. We're not suggesting that we need every single golfer out there to be in this position here in their golf swing, but this would be the rehearsal we'd need to make to try and move towards that slightly more structured position. So by pushing the grip down and away and squeezing the elbows together, we can generally create a much more stable, structured and consistent backswing position with your arms that can only help as we start to move towards impact. So let's go ahead and see if I can hit this one. I'm going to do a rehearsal where I push the grip down and squeeze the elbows, and then go ahead and see if I can do that with a ball. Okay, and not necessarily something I struggle with in terms of my lead arm, but I do often find my elbows separate, so that's a really good feeling for me to try and create some better connection between those elbows, and it generally gets me into a much more desirable position at the top of the backswing and helps me deliver the club as I want it to. So I really hope that helps. If you are that golfer that collapses those arms, try those 2 points in practice. I think you'll enjoy how the results look on the golf course as well. Thanks for watching. Usual stuff is down below. You've got a comments box down there. There's the like button. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and also share this video if you know of anybody who you think could benefit from the information in it. We'll hopefully see you back here again soon.